This is Jenny Solaria Delfini, and today I want to tell you something about our silver cord, or rather about our etheric body. I've shared a lot about this in the energy workshop, but even today it plays a very important role in our current times to engage with our silver cord, because all the measures on Earth in 2001 contributed to and aimed at severing our silver cord. Our etheric body is increasingly being separated from our physical body. Since I tried to write down this information here, to summarize it again, I've experienced attacks, even ringing in the ears, which means the greys are monitoring our silver cords. They are not interested in us strengthening our silver cords. For example, gluten in wheat weakens the silver cord, and connections from many other foods are disrupted. This is just a broad overview of a vast field of information that I'm trying to summarize here. So the silver cord has its main center located in the pancreas, which is also internally connected to our body's umbilical cord. So the silver cord and the umbilical cord could be imagined astrally as the same, looking the same, but it stands out from the pancreas. It's a large solar plexus, a plexus center, from which the cord can also fan out into many small cords. Actually, when viewed from the outside astrally, it looks like a thick white silver, like a lightning bolt. That's the color it appears. But when you go inside and look at it, it's made up of many, many small cords, just like an electrical cable is made up of many small copper wires. And this cord is formed from the entire etheric body of a person. So around your whole body there is this 2 centimeter layer of etheric energy, which has even been made visible in aura seminars, energy workshops, and can be seen with the naked eye against a white or dark background wall between the fingers and so on. And all this energy flows together into the solar plexus and forms the silver cord. The silver, as the name suggests, is crucial. The more silver present in a human body as a noble metal, the stronger the silver cord can be. And silver is generally kept away from people. Many of you haven't touched silver in ages or worn silver on your body unless you receive silver alone as humans. That strengthens the silver cord. However, even here in the present time, in the last 10 years, it was much easier to protect oneself just through the large silver unity people. The silver bodies are continuously degrading. This is related to additional electromagnetic fields, ELF waves, astral mind control by the greys, and many poisoning measures, even from the astral plane. Astral mind control is from demons that were bred which were not previously on the Earth's surface, from deceased individuals who cling on, who are already dying. And you know how many people are currently dying, how many souls need to pass and draw energy from our silver body to be able to leave. The silver cord, as I'll tell you shortly, has an even greater significance and connection for the deceased. And the silver cord is particularly important to pay attention to treat, maintain, and stabilize in the present time. In 2001, as mentioned, the silver deficiency is very, very large. Silver has an energetic impact on our emotional body, giving us, if we have enough silver in the body, a feeling of incredible primal trust, mother essence. We have the strength to provide for many people. We ourselves feel provided for, nourished. We have no existential fears. We are in strength. We have physical fitness. Every morning when we wake up, we can fulfill our daily tasks, not just for one person, but for many. If your silver cord is completely in order, then you have the strength for 2 or 3, which a normal person usually cannot achieve. This can also be converted into Bowie units. With age, strength usually diminishes because the pancreas energy or the life task, the reason for incarnation, withdraws the whole energy and is no longer available because you either haven't accomplished the actual task or have accumulated too many parasites that also drain your entire etheric silver cord energy, so it simply doesn't become a proper thick rope anymore, but just a thin thread. If you have a very, very thin thread of silver cord, people are often very thin, depressed. They can't manage to get into their strength, produce their energy, meaning they can't get on their career path. It may be that parasites have been anchored in the blood in the body. Only astral parasites are enough, which have invaded your mental or emotional body through heavy possessions which you have brought upon yourself through partnerships, blood connections, parents, society, relationships, children you have given birth to, who may have been murderers, whatever. There is simply a cell memory that weakens our system. And if I gave my soul to someone else in a previous life, they now also have access to my silver cord and can essentially clear it out. It can be an event in your life from one moment to the next, a cell memory, a synchronicity, and your energy is completely gone. The silver cord is a vital substance, a vital installation to keep our etheric being, our subtle being, meaning also the soul. The subtle being of us is the transmitter for our soul and also transports our soul, connected to the body. Without the strong silver cord of 2001, without a strong etheric body, you fly out of the body, land in the upper chakras, forehead or crown chakra, and lose your grounding. Root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus are completely undernourished in most people, which then also manifests in physical ailments like intestinal issues, 2001 constipation, or pancreas problems, pancreatic issues after eating, all silver cord deficiency. You can see they are wobbly, they are unsporty. If something happens to them, they don't get up so easily. Their bodies, their bones don't have the strength and capacity to move athletically, swing, sweat, maybe do a cartwheel or jump on a horse and gallop. Most of these people are connected to cell phones, attached to computers. You have to imagine the interference fields your etheric body currently lives in. Even when you just go shopping, you go among people, you drive on the street, you get cleared out more than ever, and every day it gets worse. And so it's important to turn off these interference fields, move into nature, into a healthy magnetic field. Even nature spirits should be approached with caution. There are interference fields in nature as well. Not every tree is a good tree, not every place is a good place. You always notice it by how you slept, how you recharged, whether you have strength, whether you are grounded, whether you can feel your feet, whether you can exercise every day, yes, 20 minutes. Whether you have a desire for exercise, whether you love walks, the cold air, the fresh, clear air. So the feeling of being grounded is very, very strongly related to the state of your silver cord. And the most important thing, to keep the silver cord and the noble body attached to the physical body, thus ensuring that you are in your body and not something else, is the topic of grounding. Walking barefoot, moving. The house must be grounded. You should never touch an electronic device directly with your hands. That means you use a stylus or have copper bracelets around a copper plate so that this additional electrical polarity can be discharged, giving your body a chance. Otherwise, you will continue to minimize your etheric body, thus weakening the silver cord and destroying yourself. This means you lose the connection home. After your physical death, the connection is not enough to get home. That means you remain stuck in the astral plane of the earth because you didn't strengthen the connection during your lifetime, but agreed to the key and the matrix, and thus this frequency here on earth. That's what you're doing. They are intentions, they are actions, they are activities that ultimately are the result of your actions. So you reap what you sow. No one can control or dictate what you have to do except yourself. And most people are so mind controlled that they keep thinking they have to go to work, they have to earn more money, they have to go into the key. They don't have to. There are many other ways to do something, but creativity or ingenuity also has to do with the strength of the silver cord. The stronger the soul connection, the stronger the soul cord. And it's really like this. When we go to sleep, when you're tired, when you want to recover, you fly out of the physical body. you lie down and you fall asleep, you must be sure that your silver cord really brings you back into the body, lets you travel to where you belong, where you might have lost a part of yesterday. Maybe you're with someone who took something from you. Maybe you need to bring something back. Maybe there's a conversation that needs to be finished. Maybe you're doing parallel. As I said, there are many, many cords in this thick cord. Time travel to another timeline, to other dimensions. And you accomplish what needs to be experienced there. Because you are a multidimensional being and don't just live on the physical earth. The silver cord connects all your soul parts together. And when you wake up the next morning and you're exhausted, worn out, your body hurts, then you haven't returned properly. That means someone tried to sever your silver cord at night. And this is my main topic and my main concern also for this video, that I've increasingly noticed that the greys, as well as other aliens, the mantids, for example, raptors, of course, too, but they do more other things. They only try to lower the frequency. But these operations on our astral body are mainly done by the big greys. And they stare at us, and with that, the vibrational frequency, the flow speed of our etheric body changes. It's like a paralysis. And when it's paralyzed, you feel like you can't move in your physical body, like a stasis. And at that moment, they saw the cord off because the frequency stops. And it's an electrical polarity with which they do it with their eyes. And they do it when we sleep, especially at night. And that's why it's so often that you're torn out and your soul tries to protect you so you don't sleep, and only lets you sleep when it works. And many people have called me over the years and said, Jenny, they're here. I feel it's getting darker and I don't know if I'll make it through the night. And I'm scared, and please do something. And I've sent them unity people, and I've tried to stabilize them in their silver body. But once the silver deficiency is there, and the silver energy is also reduced by partners, by people in the environment, by work, then you can't do anything for someone quickly. Grounding is the most important thing that needs to be done over many years. You should sleep on the ground. It doesn't matter, you can also sleep on a mattress and it can also be grounded, but you notice yourself how you sleep, whether you're refreshed the next day, whether you have pain, and so on. Everywhere there is electrical polarity, your silver cord is being sawed, just by the frequency. And here again, the note that incredible protection is needed at night when you travel these days. You need a lot more protective shields and astral body energy than before, because the greys are much more present. You can see it in the Earth's sky, in the clouds. Those are all spaceships. There's no normal grey cloud cover without rain. That doesn't exist. It always rains. Either there are clouds, then it rains, or there are no clouds, then it doesn't rain. And this constant grey state is massive spaceships doing astral mind control, knowing exactly who shines, who still has energy, and who doesn't. It's totally easy for them, like combing through a field and saying, aha, there's still a plant, let's cut it down. And they see us astrally with our astral body. We are astral beings and astral demons, and they are in the process of taking over the planet and shaping it in their way, as they like, through human genetics. EPIC are specialists in manipulating human genetics, restructuring it so that we are useful to them and can still use the source, but as they want. And of course, their strongest interest is to disrupt our connection to the all-unity, to end 2001, so that we are forever trapped here in their matrix Earth 2. There are many who work for them, who even tell how great it is when Earth 2 comes. And that's not great at all, because we don't want to be on this earth anymore. This earth doesn't even give us grounding anymore. There are only a few places left where you can really ground yourself well. That's also in the middle of nature. Even wood doesn't ground you, okay? Wooden houses are not grounded. You really need to find out when you are grounded. It's best to sit on a tree root, on a tree that has very beautiful energy. You ask the tree to let you into its magnetic field and restore your grounding. It will do it in no time. It must be a very large tree, a very strong tree. It can also be near you, doesn't have to be directly on its roots, but that's something you notice immediately. You get cold, you will feel your etheric body moving, there's goosebumps, and most of the time you fall asleep. And when you wake up, you're recharged. All pains are gone and the tree has taken care of it for you. It's all about grounding. There are also grounding rods. Many things I've developed to ground people for this time that is now here. So it's very important, Yusan, to restore your syllable cord every day before you fall asleep, to strengthen it, also to sleep on a grounded bed at night. And if you have a wooden board, you must ground it too. Yes, ground it on the floor. There are many astral parasites that need to leave you. They get blown away when you're grounded because the magnetic field acts like let's say a pressure washer cleaning your etheric body. It falls from within. This magnetic field comes from your heart. It's not something you need to meditate on. You just need to be in love and be happy. That means you need to find your own source connection. And only people who come from the source itself close their eyes and are there, and all who are not from the source. They need the evil, they need the negative, and they bless the silver smear perhaps of their partner, with whomever you are together. Check who you sleep next to, check that. Check who you eat with, check who your parasite is and where your energy is being stolen. And by energy, I mean the ability to be happy. There are people you see for a short time and you have an incredible feeling of happiness. You're so in love just thinking about them. And then there are people where you say, do I have to meet them again? Okay, all right, I know, then I feel like crap. Those are the ones standing in your way, keeping you from being in love. Those are the ones serving the other source. Again, there is the source of omnipotence of love and there is the source of darkness. And it is represented here on this earth by 99%. You are a very, very small elite. There are so few of us that you would faint if you heard the number. And that's why I won't say it. We are so few that you wouldn't be able to live if you realized it. You wouldn't look at anyone anymore because you give them all your energy. You wouldn't talk to anyone because you give them your energy. You know, they steal every day. Do you know how your energy would be if you were with people from the source every day? Do you know where we would be? We definitely wouldn't be able to stay on this earth because we would be vibrating so high that just by coming together you perceive other dimensions. But they try to prevent that all the time. And everywhere there's a soul, a big swarm of parasites behind. Look at your companies, your workplaces, your families. These are the plans of the dark ones. They need an energy source, and that's you. Strengthen your sin cord, restore it. I will now set up an UBLI to unconsciously keep connecting you with your silver cord, reminding you to be there for yourself, to ground yourself. Because I really put a lot into it, because I know where they use even worse weapons, and you need a bound magnetic field there. The Earth's magnetic field will collapse. You need your own magnetic field, and that's no problem for someone from the source to survive this time with their own magnetic field, protected from all radiation weapons and everything that comes. But you need a strong magnetic field. You need group energy to leave these dimensions with your syllable cord and still maintain the physical body. But you will have been in a meditative state. And that only works if you are grounded and if your crown is so wide that you can connect your root chakra with your crown. That means you need to be able to enter your channel from now to immediately. When I say now, you are in your channel. And that is to practice. And the UB will try to stabilize that for you, but the main work will still be done by you. I can only recommend work on your silver cord, restore it, send the aliens out as you perceive the spaceships and forbid them to do it. They do it every day. They do it with me. They do it with my family. And as soon as you have a stomach ache, feel like you have digestive problems, something is wrong with your silver cord. As long as you don't sleep restfully and jump up the next morning, could hug the world and learn a smile into the day, and hey, what crazy thing are we doing today? You are not grounded and your silver cord is not in order. Yes, and how you notice that your soul cord is cut. So there are different stages when it's just slightly cut, a little bit it's scratched by existing parasites or partners who just want to steal the soul. There are really beings that only engage in soul possession, nothing else. They practically incorporate a soul after death and continue to drive incarnation towns with their energy. And the soul always comes into possession through them, through agreements, weddings, contracts, yes, words, soul contracts, promises, and so on, which you can simply also collect friendly, also for fun, or through blood citizenships for fun at the fire. And then it just stands. It's not like the soul does it itself, and carpet soul is not either, but the helper spirits are allowed to do it. And this sawing off begins, as I said, when you feel slightly tired, when you feel like you're completely tired, you want to sleep, but then you can't sleep because... So the worst is actually this insomnia or sleep disturbances, which then additionally exhaust you over the next days, weeks, months, and years. Because by tearing the cord, you can no longer easily leave the body, do all your 2001 homework in another dimension, or simply bring things back to you from the day that you left there. Energies that you left with people at places, events, to process things, yes, or imprints of your DNA and so on. They are then not possible because your body wants to protect you from running away. Because it can be that it's bold and then you don't wake up anymore, that you get a heart attack and don't wake up anymore because the syllable cord is torn. And that's why the heart attack always starts with nausea, because it starts up in the solar plexus, the tear of the syllable cord, that someone tears it out. And that can be witches, rivers, whatever. It can also just be a heartache. Through a person, you can also have a syllable cord torn if the heart and the word that was torn out and you have forgiven someone. And much, much more. These are, let's say, the simple silver cord tears that develop over years, where more and more is torn open and you then get a heart weakness or whatever in old age. In any case, the causes of physical illnesses are always to be found in the etheric body or ultimately in the emotional astral body. But the etheric body then no longer gives energy to the system, and you always have to look at the silver cord. The silver cord, if it was acutely cut by e.g. a magician commissioned devilish soul pair who can summon them. These devilish souls can scratch the silver cord. They actually saw with an astral saw. Shocking end results are that paralysis occurs, that you can no longer hold this body stasis that I mentioned. You know, you're still alive and you still feel the body, but you can't move it. You can't get in, you're like paralyzed. You try to get back to the body and wake up, and you also hear the voices of your loved ones calling, but you can't answer. Segment 1. When it comes to the brain, your mental body works, but the connection to the physical body doesn't activate. This means you can't move it. Segment 2. And that's stage number 1. In the second stage, you might just fall asleep and not wake up again. Segment 3. Coma, for example, is caused by a torn silver cord, which is so thin that it can't carry enough energy into the physical body, allowing something else to enter it. Segment 4. Because if you're not in the physical body, something else can be. That's why it's important to stay grounded to avoid a torn silver cord. Segment 5. A torn cord means you feel pain. You might have physical pain like back pain, headaches, heartache, or stomach pain. Segment 6. You can have incredible nerve pain, twitching, nerve disorders, multiple sclerosis, and many other issues because the nervous system can't flow properly and return to the center. Segment 7. Whatever was installed in various places. We have energy highways, transfer stations, like transformers on Earth, and then things like demons have nested, attached themselves, or black holes like curses have embedded. Segment 8. Then there's a short circuit and you might thrash around in your physical body, have memory lapses, concentration problems, or articulation issues like stuttering. All these can be caused by a damaged etheric body in certain areas. Segment 9. Acutely, it looks like you have extreme weakness, need a lot of sleep, and can't get up quickly to do things. A conversation might take so much energy that you need to sleep for 3 hours again. Segment 10. And a normal daily routine isn't possible. You return to work. Segment 11. You might still have physical complaints. I also want to mention a state where it seems like the end is beginning. You have more thoughts of death, feel like you're dying, and need to say goodbye. Segment 12. These can be ingrained thoughts, but it might also be your astral body preparing you, saying, hey, you're under a heavy black magic attack and in a state like delirium. You forget where you are between the matrix and astral plane. Segment 13. You might still know you're married, have kids, or are in a house, but you can't perceive it anymore. Segment 14. That's the pain you have. It can be related to leg twitching. So, for example, you have severe physical pain, nerve disorders, and can't get into your body. Segment 15. The root is torn. You're unable to ground yourself. This can also happen if there's too much electromagnetic pollution nearby, a high voltage line, a power line, or if the house you live in isn't properly grounded. Segment 16, or if you haven't grounded yourself for years because you've always worn shoes, sat on high chairs without earth contact, and never walked barefoot, and so on. Segment 17, or even better, an electric shower over your head. And yes, in this state you can't really consciously perceive that your whole day is passing. It might be that when your silver cord is restored by higher soul parts and conversations with the omnipotence of love, you quickly realize, what, that was 3 days? I can't remember. Segment 18, what happened during those 3 days? You can't remember time, space, or anything that happened. Segment 19, you're just glad the pain is over. Segment 20, physical complaints can be anywhere. It doesn't have to be in one place, but the pain is so intense that you fly out of your body and into a pain delirium where you don't even know if you want to live because it's so painful, and you just be glad if it ended. Segment 21. So agreeing to death is enough and it breaks through. That's why you should never agree to death, but always know you'll overcome the pain and are stronger than those causing you this pain. Segment 22. To be clear, any form of pain is a severe black magic attack, and there's much more in the lower astral plane which is currently booming on this earth than you can imagine, want, or should ever see. Do something. Start doing something for yourself to get out of this. With love and gratitude, Jenny Solaria Delfini.